Hi everyone, welcome back to this channel. My name is Joy Gunoji, and on today's video we're going to be talking about the bands in the NHS, like nursing bands, in band 1, band 2, band 3 that you always hear about and you're wondering, what is this for? Does it mean you're sharing money or something like that? So we're going to be talking about the bands for nurses and for midwives working in the NHS, the pay rate, the hours, how much they pay per hour, how much they pay per month, and all that for each of the bands. All right, so keep watching. Hi, welcome back. So like I said, this video is going to be talking about the bands in the NHS, time from band 1 to band 100, and how much they are being paid per hour, per year, per month, and all that. So starting from band 1, we know that band 1 no longer exists, so it no longer exists in the NHS. It used to do, but not anymore. So we do the band 2 to band up to band 9 now. So band 2, those are domestic staff, those people that are domestic staff and people in that category that help to clean the floor, or nursing assistants like that, and they are usually paid £11 per hour, 11.5 pounds or so per hour, and the monthly income is about £1,500 per month and £22,000 per year. And same thing or a similar thing with band 3, it's just that the band 3 is slightly higher, so instead of £11.50 per hour, it's now £11.67 per hour, and then monthly payment, the monthly take home is still within that 1,500, almost 1,600 though, but it's slightly different, just a little difference. And yearly is still same thing like that, like around that 23,000 depending on the trust you're working though, but most NHS trusts are the same. So the reason I say depending on the trust is because when you're working close to London, they usually give the London allowance and London high living cost allowance, and sort of help you because the cost of living in London is expensive, and they usually pay that kind of allowance to help you manage your bills and all that. So that's for band 2 to 8. So band 4 is a little bit different. So instead of £11 per hour, it's now £12 per hour, and your take home for the month is £1,600, and for the year is £24,000 per annum per year, and all that. So I usually don't look at the per year thing because it looks so big to you, and then at the end of the day, it's per month you'll be paid. You're only paid per month, you're not paid per year. So it might look so big to you, but it's actually not like that. So I always consider the per month pay and the per hour, comparing it to the year and all that. So that's for band 2, band 3, band 4. Like I said, band 1 no longer exists. Then for band 5, which is nurses usually start from when you've gained your PIN as an NHS worker. So you're an international nurse, you're coming to the country, coming to the UK to work, you're recognized as a band 4 until you gain your PIN. So some trusts you usually recognize you as band 3, but most of them usually recognize you as band 4. So you're working as a support worker at that point. So I forgot to say, so the band 4, they are the support workers, all right, clinical support workers that help to those nurses in the ward, assist the midwives to do those things that are not directly nursing related. All right, so recognized as a band 4, and then when you gain your PIN, when you gain your NMC PIN, you become a band 5. You become placed on a band 5 salary and recognized as that, and you improve the ladder from there. How much are you paid per hour? How many hours are you expected to work? For a band 5, you're expected to work 7.5 hours. In fact, part-time, for full-time, both band 5, band 6, band 7, a full-time worker is expected to work 7.5 hours. Starting from band 2, if you're a band 2 till this thing, I'm not so sure about band 2, band 3, but for band 5 till band 9, if you're working full-time, you're expected to work 7.5 hours per week, meaning that you're working at least 3 to 4 times per week. You're working 3 to 4 days per week, 12-hour shift each. So your week, for instance, you're working Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 12 hours each. Then on the 4th of the month, you're working 4 days in that week. So instead of 3, to make up for the 7.5. So for the first 3 weeks of the month, you're expected to work like 2 days in a week, 3 days each in a week, which is like hours each for each day. So 12 hours today, 12 hours tomorrow, 12 hours the next day, and that week is complete. You have your 4 days off. Then do that for 3 weeks, and the 4th week you get to work for day a week to complete the 7.5. So they do it in sort of a way so that is all balanced and all that. So that's for that. And then for the look at. So like I said, there's 7.5 hours you're expected to work. For the pay per hour is 14.53 pounds per hour. I know you're waiting to hear this. So 14.53 pounds per hour, and this is depending on your experience. I'm going to be saying every salary range I'm going to be talking about is like from basic, that's from 1 year, like one experience, from your basic experience 0 to 1 year, 2, 3, 4 years. So I'm also going to drop a link under the description of this video to help you with calculating for that. But let's go on. So for the expected to work hours, you're being paid 14.53 per hour, and this is depending on the number of years you've worked. And then if for instance you've worked like 2 years plus 3 years as a band 5, like you're being paid, for instance, 15 pounds per hour depending on how many years experience you have. But from 0 to 1 year in basic or new starter band 5, you're being paid 14.53 pounds per hour. You're being paid £1 per month, so your take home per month is 1,800 roughly, depending on the trust, depending on how many weekends you work, how many night shift you work, because night shift you're being paid more and weekends you're being paid more, like times 2 of what you're usually paid on a normal day. You get paid during night shift and get paid more during week bank holidays. So that sort of help you to increase your salary, boost it up a little. But if you're working just basically, like those things are not included, you're not booking extra bank shift, you're not booking extra weekend, extra night, basic pay for that month will be like 1,800 pounds per month for that month. And so per year 28,400 pounds and then like I said, per hour is 14.53. so your home is 14.53 pounds per hour, and then you're working 37.5 hours per week. You're working 12 hours per day, you understand? So 12 hours per day, calculated 12 times 14.53, that's what you're getting for that whole day shift. Then 37.5 hours times 14.53, that's how much you're getting for that week. Calculate it into the month and all that. You notice that within the same figure of 1,800 pounds per month roughly. All right, so like I said, this is affected by night shifts, it's affected by bank holidays. So if for instance that day is a bank holiday, or is it like a Christmas holiday now, like Christmas day, you'll be paid more because it's a bank holiday, it's a holiday day, you're not supposed to be working, but you're working, so you get paid more. All right, so that's for band 5. Then for a band 6, you're working 37.5 hours if you're full-time, and then for your per hour pay, you're being paid 18.10 pounds per hour. Your take home for the month is roughly 2,110 pounds per month, and your per annum income, that's per year, is roughly 35,393 pounds per year. All right, so that's that for band 6. And like I said before, it depending on how many years experience you have, so the more years, the more the pay rate per hour increases. So you can see a band 6 receiving 20 pounds per hour, 22 pounds per hour, depending on how many years she has as a band 6. Okay, so for a band 7, you're being paid like roughly 22.37 pounds per hour, and then your take home is roughly 2,500 pounds, almost 2,600 pounds. So you notice that the difference in the bands is usually like 200 pounds, 300 pounds per month now. So I'm talking per month. That's why sometimes some people don't usually like moving up to the band. They just gain the experience in their current band and stay there, because when you're moved up a band, you get to work level what is expected of a person in that band. So when you're a band 5, you have 5 years experience as a band 5 and all that. You're in that band, you're as a band 5, expected of you is as a band 5. When you're working as a band 6, the skills expected of you is as a band 6. When you move forward, say for instance, but that's not to say you shouldn't move forward, because even in that band you're moving forward and you decide to gain more experience in that band, you will be paid more in that band. It comes higher. So when you're band 6, the expected of you as a band 6, even if you gain 2, 3, 4, 5 years experience, it's expected of you as a band 6. You're able to do more things, and so your salary gets to increase as well and all that. So you shouldn't sort of a band that you're not comfortable with, you stay in a band that you're comfortable with until you gain the skills enough to actually move up a band. Don't move up a band because you feel, oh, the salary is so big there and all that, because if you're up to the task, you might see yourself putting yourself and your pin in trouble. So make sure that you're very, very comfortable before moving up to that, before applying for a role and all that. So let's go back to what we're saying. Like I said, the salary for a band 7, is it band 7 now? Yeah, it's 22.37 per hour. Monthly is like £2,500 per month, and then yearly is about £43,000 and some figure. Like I said, this depending on how many years of experience you have in that band, depending on what you do, and depending on how many extra shifts you book, how many band shifts you do, how many weekend shifts you do, night shift and all of that. So for the band 8 is divided into band 8A, band 8B, band 8C, band 8D, all right, before you get to band 9. So band 8A is different from band 8, different from band 8C, you know, all band 7, band 8 especially are those matrons and specialists and midwives, like specialist nurses, you know, and all of that. So there are those in this category of band 8 and band 9. So for a band 8A, the salary per hour is like 26 per hour. You're being paid £26 per hour as a band 8A, you know, midwife. Then for a salary per month is like £2,889 per month, and then for per year is about £50,000 per year. Yeah, so figures are at 50,900 per year, right? And then for band 8B, so for the band 8B, so they are being paid £30 per hour. Then the monthly home is about £3,000, and then for the per annum is about 58,900 or 59,000 dependent. So for the band 8C is about £36 per hour. For the monthly is about 3,700. Yeah, month. And for the yearly pay is about £70,000 per year. All right, so that's for band 8C. So for the band 8, for 2 pounds per hour, then the month take home is about £4,229 per month, and then the salary per annum is 83,000 something pounds. You know, it goes on top pounds per year as it's displaying on your screen. So you can imagine, like, you know, the big per year. Oh, this is so big, but when it's being broken down, you realize it's just about £4,000 per year per month. All right, and you're being paid monthly, you're not being paid yearly. It's not like they're going to gather the salary and pay you once per year, and you know, monthly. So it's best to look at it as per month, and which is like 4,200 and something pounds per month. And mind you, in all of this I'm mentioning, the tax is not involved, so your tax have been deducted from this. All right, so with the tax, you know, you don't want to include your tax in it because you're not going to be taking your tax home at the end of the day, but your pension is inclusive. So if you're taking pension out, you know, subtract like 300 on what band. So for a band 5, maybe 200 to 300 pounds that is being deducted as pension, and you can decide to opt in or out of pension as the case may be. So if you feel you don't want to be paying pension, you don't want to remain in the NHS, you don't want NHS to help you to gather your money, you can opt out of pension, and they'll be paying you the, you know, pay that taken away from your salary. They'll be paying you every month and all that. All right, so it's optional. You don't have to pay pension. Pension is just the money that is being gathered for you, that is given to you at the end of your retirement and all that. So yeah. Band 9, the salary per hour is like £51 per hour. You see, we've increased further from 14 now to 51. So £51 per hour is being paid to a band 9 roughly for, you know, hour. And then for a month, the take home is usually about £4,900 per month, almost 5,000. So when you're working the bank shift, when you're working the weekends and all that, you end up getting up to 5,000 or even more. Then for the per year income for a band 9 is 99,000 something. Yeah, all right, almost 100,000 per year. Then almost £5,000 per month, and then £51 per hour. All right, so and it's for the 7.5 hours worker. So one that is working 7.5, another full time, and so number of hours you're working does not really matter. If you're working 30 point something pounds, you're working 30 point something hours per week. Say you're not working full time, you're working part time. Whatever you work is what will be given to you. So working full time, it's all depending on, you know, the bandwidth. So if you're a new nurse, you're a new midwife and all that, and you to the country based on contract, you know you'll be working full time and all that, because that's probably what was signed in your contract, except you signed otherwise. So contract you're working, know what you're doing, know how many hours you're working per you know that, and it doesn't really affect your salary pay. All right, so that's that about that. If like I said, I'm going to be dropping the link of the calculator, the calculator under the description of this video, so you can click on it, rough estimates, find out more about this. Say for instance you want to find out how much a band 6 that has worked 3 years or 4 years or 5 years experience is expected to earn per year, per month, per hour. You calculate this. It varies with each year. It varies with the number of years you have as the band that you are in. All right, so that's about that. If you like this video, let me know in the comment section. Click on the subscribe button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, like and share with your friends, and I can't wait to see you next time. Bye bye.